Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome to another episode of In the Studio. And we got a good one this week. I hope they're all good. But this week we're doing a bit of a Grim Truth special. So if you don't know, you're kind of new to the series. The Grim Truth is a film by JumpCut Studios that we managed to shoot literally the weekend before the UK lockdown started. We're very fortunate to have been able to have done that. And it's a project that's been in the works for a while. So to kind of go back to the beginning of it, last July, we got like the first version of the script from Eileen, who's a fantastic writer, and she did a few drafts, and then we optioned it from there. And it's been a process of kind of refining it, getting it to how we want it to be, to kind of reflect the messages that we wanted to show through the characters and their interactions, and just the message through the film as a whole. I don't want to spoil it too much, obviously because the film's not out yet. I want to leave some surprises in there. But it's a really positive film. It's something that me and Jake have been really passionate about, and I do feel really lucky that we managed to shoot it when we did. And at the minute, we're taking it kind of slow and steady with it. We've got plenty of time, as a lot of people do at the moment, to kind of refine it. And Lewis, our editor, is working away when he can with it, and we're really appreciative of his efforts behind the scenes at the minute. And it's been an interesting journey for me as well. A bit of background about me just in relation to the project. I wasn't really looking to really direct anything as such. I'm a bit more kind of behind the scenes, if you will. I like writing. Finishing scripts, like many writers, is a bit of a bugbear thing for me. But I like writing, I like coming up with stories and planning them out and doing beat sheets and stuff like that, and kind of developing those with creatives. And I like writing about film. And it was never really in my mind to like kind of direct another project. I had directed a short film before when I was leaving uni, and that was like kind of like my debut short film. And this script kind of like fell into mine and Jacob's lap, and Jacob asked me if I wanted to direct it, and I was really honoured to do so. And I had a look at the script and thought, you know what, yeah, this is something I can put my mark on. I feel like I'm connected to this project. And it's kind of just evolved like that, and then it's just been a really great process as well to get involved with people I've worked with before, like Daniel Helpsall, our DP. He's a really talented guy. You'll get to see him later on in this episode speaking a bit more about the film industry as it is at the minute, which is really interesting. And Jonathan himself, who plays Grim, we worked together on my debut short film, and it's been really nice to kind of reconnect with him and give him a role that he can really sink his teeth into as well. Also in this episode, we've got our sound engineer Marcus tuning in, as well as Rachael, who plays Maria in the film, and their clips are lovely, and I can't wait for you to get into them. So without further ado, I'll stop rambling and we'll continue. So thanks for tuning in. Let's get on with it.
Hello, I'm Jonathan, and I play the role of Grim in The Grim Truth. So I'd first like to say that from an acting perspective, this is by far one of the best projects I've ever had the pleasure to work on. If I had to sum it up in one word, for me at least, it would be heaven. It's as simple as that. We were fortunate enough to have such a dedicated crew who were very passionate. The actors were amazing, and it was just nice to be around people that were so passionate and so dedicated for their craft and what they do. One of the things that I remember liking most about the character of Grim was actually the makeup. The reason for this being, on the first day, I remember looking into the mirror and I actually said to the crew, I actually prefer this to my real face. So yeah, that was quite funny. But then it was, I think, scene 3 or 4 on the first day, and I was being introduced to one of the crew that I hadn't met yet. And I turned around to say hello, and as soon as they saw my face, they had a literal look of shock on their face. It was like, oh my God, like that. And I could see they were quite taken back a bit. So at that time I thought, yeah, this makeup works. It's a bit scary. It does its job, which is quite funny. But it was really nice for me as well to be given some creativity around the scenes, where our lovely director Sam let me do a bit of improvisation in between scenes, which I really enjoyed, because I felt those brought out the sort of personality traits of Grim more, and it was really fun to be able to play around and see what sort of stuff I could come up with, which was really cool. So at the moment in lockdown, I'm currently rehearsing for a play called Borderline, which myself and 3 other actors wrote. We were supposed to be performing this last month, but unfortunately due to the epidemic and theatre closures it's been postponed. I am also currently rehearsing for the role of Davies in The Caretaker, which is a play by Harold Pinter, which again has unfortunately been postponed until further notice. However, I just want to say that I can't wait for you all to see The Grim Truth. Really excited to see it myself. I hope you all keep safe, I hope you all keep healthy, and hopefully I'll see you all at the premiere.
Hi everyone, my name's Rachael and I play Maria in The Grim Truth. It was such a great project to be a part of, and I can't thank the guys from JumpCut enough for casting me in this film. Sam, our director, was so lovely and such a great director, really gave us a sense of community on set, welcomed us all in with open arms and really gave us some key direction. Was just such a lovely person to be around. And Jacob, our producer, was so accommodating, was there whenever we needed him, was again just a really lovely guy. All of the guys from JumpCut are, and I'm really glad to still be in touch with them. And thank you for asking me to be a part of this, I really appreciate it. Maria is a vampire and she's been around for a pretty long time, and she's fed up with life, basically. She's lived past her days and she's pretty cynical about everything, generally doesn't get along with most people. She's past it all. I'm generally pretty bubbly and nice, I'd like to think. I'm quite a positive person most of the time, so getting inside her head was a fun little challenge for me. It was nice to put myself in her shoes and play a character that's very different from myself. Just being on set was a great time. We all had quite a few laughs. I got on really well with my other castmates, and I missed being on set, honestly. We had such a fun weekend filming and I really would love to do it again. Anytime they ask me to be a part of anything else, I will jump at the chance, if the offer was to come up, of course, because I just had the best time and I really clicked with everyone. I think they're lovely people and I would work with them again in a heartbeat. So thank you for letting me record this. It's nice to kind of remember the good times that we had on set before all of this began, I guess. Yeah, so thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys really soon.
Hi, I'm Marcus, the sound recordist for The Grim Truth. It's one of the first films I've worked for on set, and the main thing that stood out to me is how comfortable everyone was in each scene. Everyone was so relaxed, it was really professional, and that made it such a joy to work with everyone for this film, and I'll always have very fond memories of it. My favourite scene in the film was a moment between 2 characters. They're sat in a van and we had everyone huddled around, out of camera shot, and the dialogue's so funny, we're all trying not to laugh. But there's this really heartwarming moment between the 2 of them, and I think someone called it the heart of the film. I think that about sums up how good that scene is. The other thing I noticed was Sam and Dan allowed everyone to get really creative on set. And there's a great interview where with Grim, the Grim Reaper, where a lot of the jokes were all sort of made up about things in the room, and we were still laughing at those jokes at the end of the day. That really, really good atmosphere. And this project really made me fall in love with filmmaking, actually. Meeting loads of interesting and like-minded people. And yeah, everyone did awesome on this film. Actors, all the people behind the scenes making costumes and everything, and I think it will really show. Excited to see this one.
Hello, so I'm Daniel Hempshaw. I was DOP on The Grim Truth, and yeah, I mean, we're quite lucky to actually be able to film The Grim Truth prior to lockdown. It was, if I remember correctly, the weekend before it got announced that we were going into lockdown. So I think we're very fortunate then. And I mean, going forward, even though they have reopened, I think the main concern for everyone is that we need to be safe on set. From experience, the 2 metre distance thing isn't that easy to pull off on set. You've just got to think about the sheer amount of like hair and makeup, for example. Dressing, casting, that's just one department or two, you know, and then you've got camera team, all crowded in a van. I just think it's too much of a risk to go back at the minute. I think until they can provide PPE and actually have it a bit looser, the whole 2 metre thing, I think we won't be seeing anything happen soon. It's difficult for lower tier graded people, like the camera trainee or a sound trainee or a production runner. I mean, without people in those positions, the production really struggles. And unfortunately for those people, they are under PAYE, which isn't self-employed, because yes, technically their contract's finished, came to a natural end, but at the same time, because they were taxed on the job, they can't be classed as self-employed. So you're in a kind of situation where you've got self-employed workers and PAYE. Self-employed are getting basically what was told, and PAYE aren't getting any means. So I think the future is everyone should be self-employed on a set, even if it's for a day, because, you know, if it wasn't because I was a student there for the last 3 years, I would be a bit screwed over, because, you know, no financial help. I know that there's a lot of talks within the camera department and camera branch and BFI for future support. I know, for example, BFI have been raising a lot of funds to support freelancers, because even though we're PAYE as entry level, it doesn't take away that we're still freelance. We'll still finish a job the same as everyone else, and we've still got to look for the next gig. And I think the whole, I don't know, it's just such a difficult situation we're in, because yes, we do want to go back to work. I'm desperate to go back to work. I'm eager. I can't wait to get back. I've got to think positive.
So that concludes this week's episode. Thank you for tuning in and hearing those insights from our casting crew on The Grim Truth. If you want to stay updated with the movie, you can do on Twitter at Grim Truth Film. You can also follow at JumpCut Studios as well. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. We've got plenty more updates and content to do with that coming in the future. And yeah, thank you again for watching. This series is something quite personal towards myself and the JumpCut team. It's a kind of collaborative effort into bringing creatives from local or afar together in a weekly platform, and I hope you're getting something out of it. We certainly do. Every time we get people sending in clips towards like the theme of the episode, it's always very helpful and informative. So if you're enjoying them, please remember to like, subscribe, all that, turn the bell notifications on if you want to as well, and we'll see you again soon.